Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Rooney says Steelers planning late week flight for Ireland game like they did in London. They should strongly reconsider. The Steelers are preparing to play in Ireland and appear to have learned nothing from their last international game experience. According to Steelers president Art Rooney too, they plan to keep the same itinerary as last time. The only problem is, players cited their itinerary as a contributing factor to their loss in London in 2013. From our point of view, I don't think a lot has changed, Rooney told Missy Matthews for the Steelers website about preparing to play in Ireland. I think we're planning to leave similar to what we did for the last international trip, in London. Probably leave on Thursday and practice there on Friday and Saturday and have the game on Sunday and fly out Sunday night. I don't think it'll be too much different from the last trip. Last year, Cameron Hayward called Pittsburgh's itinerary for the London game the worst thing we did for that trip. He noted that they left on Thursday night, practiced first thing Friday, and so on. That was the first time I've ever seen coaches sleep in a meeting. And Hayward is still on the roster as the Steelers prepared to play in London. One would hope that Hayward will have some input to share his thoughts on how to work that out, given that he has experience working with this type of itinerary with the team. Ben Roethlisberger won't be with the Steelers in Ireland, but he was there in London. He shared similar sentiments in 2023 in recalling the London game. That was such a big mistake, he recalled. We were so exhausted and gassed. In other words, it might be an absolutely terrible idea if the Steelers plan to leave for Ireland on Thursday night. To Rooney's credit, he did seem to be speaking at least somewhat informally. He did say, "It's been a long time since we've done it, so we'll have to look into what other teams have been doing lately." Considering the NFL is greatly expanding international play, every team is going to have to familiarize themselves with playing in very different time zones. This isn't just a 3-hour East Coast to West Coast time change. This is 5 or 6 hours, losing time. Specifically for the Steelers game in Ireland, they will kick off at 2:30 p.m. local time, which is 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's a 5-hour difference, losing that time rather than gaining it. And the average flight time from Pittsburgh to Dublin is over 7 hours. Back in 2013, the Vikings flew out to London on Monday in preparation for their game against the Steelers, Pittsburgh flying out on Thursday, and they plan to do the same thing again for the Ireland game. If they do, they may embarrass themselves on the Rooney's ancestral grounds. Jet lag is a real thing, as is acclimating yourself to your environment. Plus, it would be cool to explore Ireland a bit, as long as someone keeps an eye on Pat Freiermuth. First call, Art Rooney to Sloan schedule complaint, NFL scheduling exec denies knowledge about Aaron Rodgers. Thursday's first call has a complaint about the Steelers' schedule from owner Art Rooney too. The NFL wants to add some clarity to the Aaron Rodgers angle. I've got an interesting quirk to the schedule that may impact your predictions. We also examine the struggles of Pirates outfielder Brian Reynolds. Nothing is perfect. There is a lot less to grumble about this year with the Steelers' schedule than in recent years. The Steelers only have 4 night games, for now, as opposed to 5 or 6. They don't have to play on a holiday. The AFC North games aren't as badly clustered late in the season as they were last year. They have just 1 Thursday night game. And even though the bye week is early, week 5, it comes after the international game in Ireland. So team president Art Rooney too had very few complaints about the schedule when he sat down with Missy Matthews of Steelers.com Wednesday night. In fact, he found only one gripe. It's the Week 10 road game in Los Angeles against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. I look to see where the night games and the far trips are, Rooney said. It fell all right. The only complaint I have is a night game on the West Coast. It's always something I prefer to avoid. We got one of those this year. These things happen. It's not so much game day that's the issue in those circumstances. It's the late-night long flight back with lost hours on the time change that impacts recovery efforts and prep time for the next week. In 2023, the Steelers had to play a road Sunday night game in Las Vegas and won 23-18. Then they got squashed the next week in Houston, 30-6. This year, the Steelers have a home Sunday afternoon game against the Bengals after that Chargers contest. Keep it in perspective. Here are two things to keep in mind before you do the whole win-loss thing with the Steelers' schedule. First of all, you don't know who the team's quarterback is going to be. That's kinda important. Second, 7 of the 17 games in 2025 will be against teams that will be operating with a new coach, a new starting quarterback, or both. The Vikings, Seahawks, Patriots, Jets, Bears and Browns, twice, are all on the schedule. Each of them will be featuring a new coach, a new starting QB or both. Potential Steelers free agent WR target visits NFC foes, report. Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz reported wide receiver Gabe Davis, who the Pittsburgh Steelers have been encouraged to target, scheduled visits with other NFL teams this week. If the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested in pursuing free agent wide receiver Gabe Davis, they will have competition. Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz reported Davis visited the San Francisco 49ers on Monday and will also visit New York Giants this week. Davis scheduled those visits less than a week after Steelers Now's Alan Saunders argued Pittsburgh should pursue the veteran wideout after trading George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys. Davis could be just what Omar Khan will be looking for in terms of a replacement outside receiver, wrote Saunders. The veteran receiver played the 2024 season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. But just 14 months after signing a 3-year, $39 million contract in free agency, the Jaguars released Davis. Davis posted career lows of 20 catches, 239 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns during 2024. YWR Gabe Davis potentially fits with Steelers in the Pickens trade with the Cowboys. The Steelers gain 2026 and 2027 draft capital. While that will be useful in a couple years, it doesn't help Pittsburgh's current receiving core. The Steelers added DK Metcalf this offseason. But without Pickens, the team is back to only one solid outside receiver. Although Calvin Austin III emerged during the 2024 season, he's best suited for a role in the slot. The Steelers hope second-year receiver Roman Wilson bounces back from an injury-plagued rookie campaign, but Wilson might also fit best in the slot. During Davis's last season with the Buffalo Bills in 2023, he was the team's number 2 receiver behind Stephon Diggs. During 2023, Davis played 82.4% of his offensive snaps on the outside. The 26-year-old experienced 2 very strong campaigns as Buffalo's number 2 wideout in 2022 and 2023. During both seasons, Davis eclipsed the 700-yard mark with at least 45 catches and 7 touchdowns. In 2022, Davis had the longest touchdown catch of the NFL season, a 98-yard grab that came against the Steelers' secondary. Jaguars released Gabe Davis with failed physical designation because of the contract he signed just a year ago. It was surprising Jacksonville moved on from Davis. With his release, which the team designated a post-June 1 cut, the Jaguars accepted a $5.7 million dead cap hit for this season. And you fan? What do you think about Gabe Davis' situation? Write to us in the comments.